Donald Trump and twin flames. What does one have to do with the other? They seem to be very far apart. It couldn't be further apart, those two topics. But in today's video, we'll get into the reasons why I am talking about both of it and why I will actually be talking more about the first one rather than the other one. But welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. This is Yvonne. If you've been following me, I thank you. And as you can tell, something changed. So far I've been all about twin flames. I was known as Twin Flame Spirit. That's still my company. That's still what I believe in and is a topic that I'm fascinated by. But again, today we'll go into why there is this subtle change, not only in my background, but also in my future videos. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you for your faith and your trust and your loyalty that you've been showing me the past few years while I was talking about twin flames. And if you're still on your twin flame journey, or you're in union, or wherever you are with the topic, because I know there's an evolution, right? That happens, a personal evolution that happens with the subject. You might start off not believing in twin flames, and then you actually meet that person, or whatever it is, you doubt everything. You then come to understand that twin flames do exist, or whatever you read as the definition of twin flames, that they do exist, that it is real, what you're experiencing is real, that it is about self-discovery, about self-healing, about finding yourself. Ideally, you come to that understanding, right? And then you might get sick of not seeing results, like physical results on the outside. I hope you will always see inner results, right? You will see how you change, how you leave pain behind, how you leave an obsession maybe with the other person behind, how you leave behind focusing on the other person. Ideally, all of this, right? And you come into your power, you come into your true self, you do come into who you truly are, you do discover how powerful you are, how amazing you are, you do discover your life purpose, all this ideally, and you eventually, or wherever along your journey, you do unite with your one true love, because I do fully believe that's what we're meant to be doing here as twin flames, I want to say, right? So why do I bring up Trump? What does Trump, who is symbolic in this video, in what I'm currently talking about, for the world, for global events happening, right? Because he is the leader, sort of like the official leader of the United States currently. And as you can tell, if you haven't been living under a rock, the US is pretty much dictating world matters, world politics, and what is happening in the world, where there's peace, where there's no peace, where there's intervention, where there's tragedy, where there's peace, like all these things, right? Trump is a head of a state that is calling itself a superpower. And that, yeah, that might have been a superpower, and things might be changing. So this is something that ties in with twin flames, or rather twin flames tie in with the world as a whole. And I've been trying to make that point along the videos I've been making, right, throughout my videos, because I always said, on a personal level, you're going through a transformation, you're going through finding yourself, you're going through so much pain and so much upheaval and so many tears, right, on this journey of twin flames, that you become someone else. You transform yourself, you become who you truly are. Again, ideally, again, best case scenario, if you actually wake up and realize it's not about the other person. It could be whoever on the other side that is mirroring you, your upsets and your wounds and your inner healing that you should be doing. And once you realize that, you do like come out on the other side awakened, and you do realize that what you've been told so far is questionable, that you should question things, that you should have your own judgment on things, that you should ask questions, that you're basically awakening from a sleep, from a dream you had. It was sort of a bad dream. I don't want to go into the matrix topic, like what is the matrix and all that. That's not for this video, but you're basically changing your bubble, right? You're going from one old bubble to a newer bubble of yourself, of your surroundings. So while you're going through all this this big transition, or you yourself going through this big transition is symbolic, is on a micro level, the same thing as is happening on a macro level, like on a bigger level. And I've always talked about this, and maybe you've heard me, maybe you haven't. I tied it into my videos. I was trying to be explicit about it, but that's where Trump and the global situation ties in, because your transformation on your personal micro level is also what humanity as a whole is going through currently right now, right? And if you listen to psychics, good psychics, if you listen to spiritual people, good spiritual people who are aligned with the truth, who are aligned with love, who are aligned with what's happening currently, and they all say the same thing, that the planet as a whole, that the earth as a whole, that humanity as a whole is going through that shift. And we're in the midst of it, we're in the middle of it. So we're at whatever we're seeing on the outside, like in the world, let's say, and that's where Trump comes in, and other leaders, right? Leaders, yeah, I'm not going to get into it right now, but that's where I now want to focus on more, on this bigger frame of things, on this also political stuff, also spiritual stuff. I'm just going to call it stuff. Of course, it's topics, it's subjects. And I just realized for myself, this is now my personal story, my personal transition that I share of, that I don't usually do, right? You hear it between the lines, what I'm going through, but I'm not usually not talking about myself. I'm not talking about my personal situation. I'm not talking about my twin flame situation. I've been sort of keeping that sacred and secret, if you want so, because it is, to me, it is sacred and secret. It's not to be blasted out on YouTube, so that will remain secret and my own thing. But what I can share is that I have come to my power. I feel I think I'm pretty good and pretty amazing. So I have discovered my true self. I have discovered self-love. I have, yes, I'm not done, right? Like probably all of you, wherever you are, we can evolve beyond a certain point always. But I have come to realize that on a level of life purpose, of doing these videos regarding talking about twin flames, it has become too tight. It has become too tight as a subject for me, because I feel I've said it all. I've said it all what there is to be said about twin flames. The videos will still be up on my channel. I was actually thinking about making a new channel where I would just speak about also these political things happening, about the earth as a whole changing, about the transformation of humanity, about spiritual and physical trials they did, or what's it called, studies they made. I do want to address societal topics too. I basically just want to talk about whatever I feel like I want to talk about, right? Whatever I want to talk about, I want to be able to do that and not think, oh no, my channel is about twin flames, I shouldn't. You know, people are gonna be confused, or they're gonna be wondering whatever happened to twin flames. Why is she not now talking about Trump? Why is she talking about Iran? Why is she talking about these things, right? So we were thinking about starting a new channel, but now we figured it's actually tying in so neatly with twin flames. It's not something completely new. It's just opening up the perspective. It's opening up the framework, so to speak. I hope that's the right word, of it having become too tight. Now we want to open it up and be, okay, let's address everything that has to do with transformation, with awakening, with people realizing they've been lied to regarding so many things. Maybe, for example, the pandemic, that's just one of them. I could name 100 things, right, that in the past, let's say 2 decades, we've been lied about, basically about everything. So what's happening? Who's in power? Who is spreading this information? Who's behind everything? Why is a certain country behaving a certain way? Why is a certain person behaving a certain way? Like all that It's I want to help to bring it to light. There's so many soldiers, like I would say divine soldiers, also on YouTube doing that already, right? They're already spreading the truth. They're already uncovering lies and conspiracies, and they're already showing us that what's happening is what's been happening in the past few decades, right, is not good for humanity. It's not what should be happening. It's not what how humanity as a whole, people as a whole, people and countries as a whole should be treated. So there's already these amazing light workers, right? Soldiers in the name of God, let's say, in the name of the good, of love, of what will eventually prevail. There's already all these people doing that, but I just feel a calling, a inner calling to also add my voice, to add what I have to share. I feel I've been prepared for this all my life, basically, right? Whatever I went through, whatever studies I did and education I made, and then personal experiences I went through, the whole twin flame experience and journey, like everything was preparing me now for this next chapter. So I would, yes, that's what twin flames and Trump have in common. This video is not about Trump at all. We're not judging. We're not saying, do you like him? Do you not? Is he a monster? Is he amazing? It's not about that at all. I think you figured that by now. It really is just about you being informed of the personal transition I went through, and have now come to where I have now come to this new point in my life where I'm like, hey, let me speak about everything I want to talk about, speak about, right? I know I have to do it. It's a duty almost to be doing so. And of course, I would love for you to accompany me on this next chapter. Chances are, if you liked what I said so far in my twin flame videos, you might also like what I have to share in the future, because it's not going to be completely new and different. Well, of course, I want to add new information. I want to sort of be about education, right? I want to be about you feeling educated by my videos, everything I share. So I do hope that I can contribute, right, to your process still, to your process of personal growth and awakening and transformation, but also to you figuring out maybe bigger parts of what's happening, like bigger puzzle pieces, sort of putting them together on a global and national level, if we want so, right? International level, I meant to say. So I would love for you to stay subscribed to this channel if you have already been a subscriber, right? If you're new, feel free to subscribe. Again, this channel will be slightly changing directions, and I'm gonna let my mic survive, I promise. We're gonna slightly change directions and make it about the transition as a whole of humanity. And we will also be posting a lot more, right? Well, I intend to post at least once a week a long form content, like a video of, you know, whatever, how many minutes that's going to be, but and then also share short form content. Like we're basically, or I'm basically calling back to life my channel that I've been leaving a little bit to the side in the past year because I was focusing on making German videos only. So the German channel of Twin Flames will remain up. I might still make a German twin flame video on there every now and then. Maybe I will, maybe I will not. For now, I'm a bit done with twin flames, but you never know how everything is evolving, right? This channel, again, will be mostly about different topics or other topics than twin flames. Like, I'm not gonna probably speak tomorrow about twin flames, but who knows, right? Because it is tying in with the rest of it, because it is not something completely separate of what I will from now on be speaking about. There might also be a twin flame video now, every now and then, right? Again, what it is a priority to me is that freedom to speak about whatever sort of is basically coming through, right? As an idea, as an input, whatever I feel called to talk about. So subscribe to the channel or stay subscribed, like this video, share this video if you feel like, oh, you know, someone could benefit from the information Yvonne is sharing. I know she's, you know, she's truthful. She's doing her best. She has the right, the heart in the right place, and she does want to contribute to this global movement sort of that's happening. So share my video, like, subscribe, comment. Also, I have a TikTok channel, which is Yvonne Spec Official. It's a new channel. It's not the Twin Flame one I had before. Same for Instagram. I don't have my Twin Flame Instagram account anymore. I'm starting fresh on those two platforms with Yvonne Spec Official. You'll also be finding the link below. You can also read it here, I hope, if we manage to edit it in that way. And yes, stay tuned. Stay tuned and come back for more videos. Maybe alert yourself to my videos, notify, like, do the bell thing there, you know, the bell thing, whatever it's called. And thank you so much for your loyalty, again, for your trust and faith in me, and all the very best to you. I speak to you soon. Bye.